Sunway Construction Group Berhad, or known as Suncon, is involved in the construction of multi-story, commercial and institutional buildings to high-tech manufacturing and industrial facilities, healthcare facilities, educational institutions, residential townships, and recreational facilities. Sunway Construction is listed on Bursa Malaysia. Sunway Construction is based in Petaling Jaya, Selangor, Malaysia. Since their inception in 1976, they have been responsible for the construction of internationally recognized landmarks and structures of national interest. From the steady growth and experience gained in Malaysia, they have been advanced to meet challenges beyond their borders by venturing into India, the Middle East, and the Caribbean. No matter where the project is located, they ensure the same high-level product quality is delivered. Sunway Construction Group Berhad have been named Best Builder 3 times in 2003, 2005, and 2013, and Best Contractor in 2019 at the Malaysian Construction Industry Excellence Awards (MCIEA). Next, we move to their product and services. Sunway Construction Group Berhad Suncon is the largest pure construction group in Malaysia, providing a full range of integrated design and construction services including building, infrastructure, foundation and geotechnical engineering, mechanical, electrical and plumbing, map services, manufacturing and sales of concrete products, precast as well as sustainable energy services. Their construction services business is further strengthened by the use of Visual Design and Construction (VDC) technology, which allow for a greater competitive advantage in the projects we undertake. They completed projects include landmarks and important projects namely Legoland Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, government buildings in Putrajaya, Kajang Silk Highway and a dedicated and first-story bus transit system BRT Sunway line in Malaysia. And also, they have also implemented projects beyond borders by exploring the areas of Singapore, India, the Middle East, Myanmar, and the Caribbean. In their constant pursuit of success, Sunway Construction Group are supported by pillars of strength that form the structure of the organization, while also leading their journey to the top. Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Jeffrey Chia AO, who is a founder and chairman of Sunway Group, and also Dato Insinyur Goh Chie Koh, chairman and independent non-executive director of Sunway Construction. So this is an organizational structure of Sunway Construction.
There are many risks that needed to identify. Construction activities that actually happen outside are, by definition, more exposed to inclement weather. It is commonly acknowledged that poor weather is a main factor in building delays. However, for unclear reasons, construction parties involved in the contract frequently fail to acknowledge the possibility of poor weather, particularly on big projects. And in Malaysia, we are very acknowledged with our weather. It is going to be between heavy rain or extremely hot. For instance, monsoon rainfall limits accessibility for construction workers and heavy equipment operators. It might also lead to unfavorable employment conditions. Mud is very tough to work with, and it can also result in machinery or supplies being destroyed. High winds also can affect the conditions of the project. During severe winds, any item placed in the air constitutes a potential hazard. Cranes and towers are particularly unsafe, and they may be pushed over, harming everyone operating on them and probably causing damage to the building site. If the wind is forceful indeed, things may fly into the air and collide with individuals on the area. COVID-19 has had a tremendous impact on construction, but it is vital to the post-COVID economic crisis. Construction, in particular, must maintain the current awareness of safety and risk while delivering projects on time. Sunway Construction has observed that they appear to be focusing on COVID-19 risks at the cost of overall safety, knowledge, and attention. This is partly due to the COVID-19 status as a distraction, limiting frontline employees and companies' ability to focus their safety problems. Safety requirements have retreated, however, there is a lack of attention, specifically at sites whose safety habits and environment were already inadequate. There have also been reports of job adjustments being designed to accept COVID-19 instructions, causing a supplementary risk. Waiting lists can arise as a result of project loss, restricting the number of individuals using elevators and lifting at any given time. And employees may choose to carry systems up stairways, putting themselves at risk of going or breaking tools. There are many risks that needed to identify. Construction activities that actually happen outside are, by definition, more exposed to inclement weather. It is commonly acknowledged that poor weather is a main factor in building delays. However, for unclear reasons, construction parties involved in the contract frequently fail to acknowledge the possibility of poor weather, particularly on big projects. And in Malaysia, we are very acknowledged with our weather. It is going to be between heavy rain or extremely hot. For instance, monsoon rainfall limits accessibility for construction workers and heavy equipment operators. It might also lead to unfavorable employment conditions. Mud is very tough to work with, and it can also result in machinery or supplies being destroyed. High winds also can affect the conditions of the project. During severe winds, any item placed in the air constitutes a potential hazard. Cranes and towers are particularly unsafe, and they may be pushed over, harming everyone operating on them and probably causing damage to the building site. If the wind is forceful indeed, things may fly into the air and collide with individuals on the area. COVID-19 has had a tremendous impact on construction, but it is vital to the post-COVID economic crisis. Construction, in particular, must maintain the current awareness of safety and risk while delivering projects on time. Sunway Construction has observed that they appear to be focusing on COVID-19 risks at the cost of overall safety, knowledge, and attention. This is partly due to the COVID-19 status as a distraction, limiting frontline employees and companies' ability to focus their safety problems. Safety requirements have retreated, however, there is a lack of attention, specifically at sites whose safety habits and environment were already inadequate. There have also been reports of job adjustments being designed to accept COVID-19 instructions, causing a supplementary risk. Waiting lists can arise as a result of project loss, restricting the number of individuals using elevators and lifting at any given time. And employees may choose to carry systems up stairways, putting themselves at risk of going or breaking tools. Last but not least is water security. Acute water usage contributes for around 70% of construction project water usage, while efficient water use contributes for 25%. Whenever a building site has leaks, poor hygienic and hydrological systems, and unacceptable building plans, the waste can pollute the coastline. 60% of Sunway constructions in neighborhood sites are within water stress areas, and unscheduled water disruption may cause progress delay. Sunway construction has been decided to establish a site for specific water management plan by 2025, and it enables them to locate alternate water resources within particular work areas in order to lessen reliance on water supply. Therefore, they will also investigate the use of rainwater collecting as a crucial requirement for hygienic and potable water at project construction locations. Mangrove woodlands, for particular, absorb carbon dioxide and operate as floodwater barriers, enabling their preservation beneficial to both local areas and the ecological systems. Natural forces can be used or mimicked in existing technologies.
Now, let's move on to the risk evaluation. In the first category, we have high severity and high frequency, and in this category, we have accidents that cause the workers face bodily injury during working at the height place. Accidents classified as high severity and high frequency because the workers often required to use powerful machinery, climb to great height, or even work on the roadside where traffic accidents may occur. This will lead the construction worker face a serious risk of injury on the job. As we know, construction sites are dangerous places. The work is very physical and without proper work area management, being hit by a moving object can become a hazard. Working from height continues to be one of the major causes of fatality within their industry. A worker may fall from a building, scaffolding or piece of machinery to the ground below. Workers can also fall into holes or ditches on the construction site. In the most tragic of cases, the injury sustained by the construction worker will be fatal or result in permanent disability. For the next category, we have low frequency but high severity. In this category, we have water security where it is very important to construction site. Shortage of water is rarely happen, but when there is no water supply at construction site, it affects the quality and time of work. Due to water shortage, many construction sites will face disruption and will slow down their activities and operation. The effects of delay are costly to all parties involved, and they frequently lead to disagreement, excess costs, and project failure. Water is one of the most important elements in construction as it is needed for cement concrete mixing, mortar preparation, and curing work. The quality and quantity of water has much effect on the strength of mortar and cement concrete in construction work. The workers also should have plenty of water available on site as well as a shady place to prevent dehydration and exposure-related illness.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Siti Fatimah Begalvin. I will present about risk management technique. So as for the risk management technique, it is a method or a solution to the risk that we will be faced. To create an effective risk environment, you must first understand all of the potential dangers and hazards. So for the first one is high frequency and high severity is risk avoidance. Risk avoidance is a risk that we have to avoid. It is a risk is proactively avoided after rationally consideration. As for the Sunway situation, risk avoidance that we can see is the location of property. If the location is not suitable for a construction project, then why we still want to do a construction there, right? So then we should avoid it. For the next is high frequency and low severity. It is risk reduction. Risk reduction is a severity or an effort we can do to least the risk. It is include in both before and after the incident happened. For instance, before the incident happened, we can fix the incident by installing a fire alarm or water sprinkler so that people will know about the incident and have a time to save their lives. So we have reduced the amount of that. For the next one, for the low frequency and low severity is a risk retention or risk financing. It is a risk that the company will fully cover, or it is a risk that will have an impact on the company. For example, for this Sunway situation, it is a COVID-19 pandemic give an impact to the Sunway company to face the delay and consequences of the construction. So the company will face fully of the consequences. So for the last one is for low frequency and low severity. Low frequency and high severity is a risk transfer. Risk transfer is a mechanism of insurance. It's transferring the financial consequences of potential accident, losses from an insured business or family to an insurer. For instance, fire burning. The risk will transfer to the insurance company to handle it. So the Sunway company will not face any loss of it. That's all. Thank you.
Next, we can conclude that Sunway Constructions Group Berhad is actually facing some of the pure risks, such as the existing risks like the inclement weather and also the pandemic of COVID-19. So the inclement weather is actually associated with the property risk, where it causes damages to the assets due to hot and also wet weather. And this will create an indirect loss to the company. We also have the other risk, which is the pandemic of COVID-19 that relates with the personal risk. So the workers may actually face the risk of poor health if they got infected by the virus. Okay, we also have identified the potential risk, which is the water safety. It means the company actually has to pay a higher cost of operating because they have to find many alternative ways when they face any disruption of water. And this actually relates with the property risk, where they have to incur extra expenses when face this kind of difficulties. Okay, the other potential risk is accidents when working at height. So the workers may face a personal risk when they have injuries, and also they have to pay for the medical expenses. Therefore, this is actually will create the risk of premature death. Furthermore, for the risk evaluation, we can see that the potential risk of water security is fall under high severity but low frequency. This is because Sunway Constructions Group Berhad does not face this kind of difficulties a lot of time, but once it happens, it will give a huge impact to the company. And then for the other risk, which is the accidents, is actually categorized under high severity and also high frequency. This is because this kind of accidents is always happen in the construction sites, and they can face a lot of injuries. Okay, therefore there will be a risk management technique that applied for the risk of water security, which is the risk reductions. It means it will limit the losses from happening. And then for the accidents, it is better to apply the risk avoidance. For example, Sunway Constructions Group Berhad can let their workers to work in a lower building site. However, the alternative risk management technique that should be used for the water security is the risk separations. It means they have to put the assets in a different area. Therefore, if they face any water disruption in one place, it will not affect the other assets in the other place. Okay, this actually will reduce its severity. And then for the accidents, it is better to use risk preventions. It means they have to take the risk, but they can reduce the losses. It means they have to follow all the instructions and use the fall protection system. Therefore, they will reduce the frequencies of having the losses. So that's all from us. Thank you.